Hello, friends, and welcome to another single-serving adventure from Queen's Court Games. I am Aubrey, and tonight we have a jaunt into the world of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. We'll be playing Eat Your Young, a scenario written for Buffy the Vampire Slayer, official TTRPG by Eden Studios, by me. You can find out more information about Buffy the Vampire Slayer by taking a look at the show notes. Now, while this isn't a horror scenario per se, there are some topics that certain viewers might find uncomfortable or objectionable. You can get a list of these topics by checking the show notes. The cast has been briefed on these topics and has QCG's safety tools at hand. But make sure to keep yourself safe and take breaks if you need them. Now that all of that is settled, let's meet our amazing cast for this evening. First up, we have most likely to draw occult symbols into their latte. It's Saffron.
Hello!
Next up, we have most likely to make a deal with a demon so they never have to sleep again. We have Dusty.
Very called out, but yes, hello.
And next is most likely to realize the theater professor is a witch. It's Jen.
Hello!
And lastly, but not leastly, we have most likely to kiss a vampire. It's QCG's resident art czar and queen of the court, V.
It's so true. Hi, guys.
Now that the cast is introduced, let me tell you a story. The camera flies over the sleepy beach town of Marlin Bay, New Jersey. We fly through the window of the Student Union of Marlin Bay College. It is early in the morning on the first day of class, so we see the hustle and bustle of students moving to get their coffee fix. Everyone is at their best. It's the day where everyone says they're going to have a better year than the last one. Maybe some of them will even live up to that. The camera moves through the crowd before stopping before a TV. We see a news report on screen and watch as a student turns the volume up. A body of a young girl was discovered in Emporia, Kansas in the early hours of the morning. The police haven't released full details of the scene, but we have reason to believe that her death is connected with a rash of similar cases across the US. It appears that she was killed in some sort of ritual. This would be the fourth in a series of similar cases. Authorities are urging people to come forward with any information regarding these deaths that might help them solve the case. With that, the channel flips and we're staring at an episode of reality television. The camera moves to a different student and follows them out of the union. After leaving the doors, we zoom up and towards one of the dormitories into the window of our first cast member. Let's start with our first Slayer, Genesis. Tell us a little bit about yourself. What does your dorm room look like? Do you have a roommate? Any of these interesting facts as you prepare for your first day of class?
At one point, I had a roommate. This is very important to note. I had a roommate the very first year that I started attending Marlin College, and I do not any longer. They've tried they tried once again in the first year after the first one left, and then after the second one left, and then after the third one left, and then in my sophomore year they tried again, and when it just was obvious that it wasn't going to work out, they moved me to a solo dorm. It's probably for the best. The room is actually pretty lackluster. If you open up the closet, please don't do that. But if you open up the closet, it's just full of clothes. It's like everything that I own is black, so it's really easy because I literally just can grab two things at a time and then I can head out. I don't have to worry about things matching because they always match because they're all black. I use the rest of the space in the closet for all of my um, hobbies, my extracurriculars, I guess, is the way that we're going to describe them. There are, all sorts of bags, and in those bags are all sorts of tools, and yeah, so that's pretty much it. The room itself, there's no real identifying information. I have a bedspread that I spent way too much on, but I really like it because it has some really cool illustrations that are like on like the darker side, but still with a little bit of like whimsy and ultimately like really cool looking. And that's about as interesting as the dorm room gets. The rest of the space is just full of textbooks and
Hmm.
notebooks and things like that. I'm not a great student, so the notebooks aren't very full. But I mean, also it's the start of the year, so It's actually a little telling because the notebooks that I'm using are left over from last year because there are so many pages left over from last year. So why would I buy new notebooks? It just doesn't
Exactly.
feel right.
Hmm.
But yeah, so getting settled in again, ready for the new year, and God, I hope it's better than last year for reasons.
Hey, that's the great thing about the start of a year. It literally you're at a point where there's nowhere to go but up.
I disagree, but we'll see.
6 feet under.
Um, but yes, it's time for you to head off to your first class of the day, and the camera will move out of your window, and we'll find ourselves visiting one of our other cast members. Paolo, the camera finds you at your dorm. What's your dorm looking like, and how are you getting ready for class?
Battle Storm is messy. They they shared a room, but they talked their way out of it after like sophomore year. To just kind of like they 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 did some smooth talking, not blackmail whatsoever, to someone to get a single dorm. The desk is a terrible, terrible mess. You see them there, like on a laptop, like working on something. Um, it's what people with ADHD like me call organized chaos. That there's shit everywhere, but you know exactly where that is. So if you can just like grab it when you're not looking. Um, there is clean laundry still in the laundry basket on their bed. Their closet has their nicer clothes all hung up, but they only wear them sometimes. And then there's also like an ironing board in their room because they rather just iron their stuff when they need it instead of like putting it away. And what they're working on right now, it looks like maybe like a website or something. You definitely see a logo on the left side of the screen, which is like an eye with beams coming off of it. And it says the future is now. And they're like replying to some emails there.
Cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm sure. It's going to be only a good venture going forward. Great things in your future. I predict this.
So do they.
So the camera moves out, and we see the next cast member. November, you refresh my memory. You have a drawback, don't you, involving nightmares?
I do.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you could give me a quick roll just to start off the game, we're gonna say because it very much leaves it up to my interpretation. We're gonna roll just 1d10. Don't add anything to it. Just let me know if it's above a 5 or below a 5.
Well, I rolled a 5, so wait, what does that mean?
So you you get these nightmares occasionally, and also because it's exactly a 5, it's slightly clearer than usual. Uh, you see these shapes, these people wearing robes surrounding the body of a girl. Do you speak Latin?
I don't think I've learned that particular skill.
Well, they're speaking in something you're pretty sure is Latin, and you are don't not really sure what they're saying. Um, maybe pick that up next time you get a chance. Um, but you watch as there are 5 of them. One stands at the head, clearly like they are in charge of this. Um, and this girl is obviously doesn't want to be here. You can tell she's screaming for help. Um, something about her energy feels familiar. Like you feel like you've encountered it before. You're not really sure. Uh, but you watch as one of the figures brings forward this knife. It's, ritual blade of some kind. You've seen them before. This one is pretty gnarly looking. And the leader plunges it into the heart of this girl. Uh, and you, the last thing you hear before you wake up is in English. Is this leader saying, "Now we feast," and you wake.
The first thing I'm going to do is have a ping in my heart, remembering that I am alone. There is not, this bed is empty. There is no comfort I can immediately seek. So I find my sketchbook and charcoal and immediately begin to draw as much as I can remember. If there were any symbols, maybe the knife, the face of this leader, if I got it, and just write down the key words that stood out to me: feast, help, 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 the girl screaming, and I get as much on paper as I can, and my hands are just covered in the charcoal.
Mm-hmm. What does the rest of your room look like? I know you're just recently returned to campus. Have you unpacked yet?
My mother insisted on helping unpack. So the room is organized, but not in a way I would like it to be. I think I know where everything is. I have my art supplies. There's more I need to purchase, but I haven't gotten my complete syllabus for all my classes yet. And yeah, my room's, it's my first time having a solo room, and it's smaller than I would like it to be. I think there's maybe the one touch, the personal detail that November is sure to have are glow-in-the-dark stars that are pressed across the ceiling.
Always a nice touch. But might want to hurry up there, or else you might be late for your first class. Don't want that on your first day.
I will shove as everything into my bags, including the sketchbook with the dream.
And as you leave your door, headed to your class, the camera will split again, and we will find ourselves in the room of our last cast member. Ari, what is your room like? Do you have a roommate? And how are you preparing for class?
So, I don't have a roommate. The camera actually catches me in the act of slinging a large messenger bag over my shoulder. I make it a point to always be early to class, specifically because A, the anxiety, ADHD, B, I do have to work in a little bit of extra time in the mornings. On the way to class, just in case something happens, like I accidentally walk through the quad and the sprinklers turn on for no reason, and I have to go back and change.
That's a good thought.
Single room. I have a very minimalist style. All of my furniture, I have a small little coffee table. All of the furniture that I have brought in that did not already come with the room is very minimalist. There is no glass. All of it is kind of a Scandinavian style minimalist with very light wood, very splinter resistant wood. A lot of my lifestyle is centered around avoiding all of this bad luck that seems to creep into my life. Right outside the window, I have actually removed the screen. I probably shouldn't have, but I did want to put a little bird feeder outside the window. I think it's cute. The birds seem to like it, and maybe that will keep them from pooping on my head. But don't worry about it. Other than that, I do carry a stake everywhere I go, just in cases. There is actually a little secret pouch that I have sewn into my messenger bag so that anyone who happens to reach in to grab a pencil or a pen or a notebook or a post-it will not accidentally find it. It's just kind of like tucked subtly into the side. And the camera kind of catches me slipping my daily stake into my bag, slinging it over my shoulder and setting out for class because, again, can't be late, gotta be 20 minutes early because what if something happens?
Oh, yeah. Well, could I have both of my slayers roll me we'll do the first roll will be we'll do a perception notice. And for those of you following along at home, Buffy uses this thing called the Unis system. It is a little bit different than some of the other systems that you've probably seen before. It uses just 1d10, and players will take their 1d10, they will take a skill, an attribute, sometimes an attribute twice, and roll and add those together. And based on what they roll, it will be degrees of success.
That is a 14, so 3 success levels.
Yeah.
And I've got an 11, so 2 success levels.
3 success levels? Yeah. It's maybe something that you're shrugging off because it is the first day of class and there are people everywhere. But both of you, as you walk to class, get the distinct feeling that someone is watching you. It's kind of that, hair raising on the back of your neck, and you probably look around at one point, but there's so many people, it's so hard to tell. And not to say that neither of you have developed any kind of reputation.
Ooh, sorry, I realized I have acute senses hearing. Does that help at all in this moment, or would it just be that somebody's watching?
It's just that somebody's watching.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think, Jen, you get a text from me that just says, Slayer senses tingling.
I just text back, yeah, I know, I can't place it. Feel like you're being watched too? Question mark?
dot dot dot. Little bit, yeah.
I got nothing though beyond that.
Should we text Paolo, see if they've seen anything?
Yeah, I mean, maybe if they can get over here, they can get a better beat on it. I don't know. I mean, I guess if somebody's watching us, they might stick around if we decide to kill time here.
The group chat immediately gets a text. Slayer sense is tingling, ×2. Paolo, what you got?
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Actually, I just answered it to myself because November would have removed himself from the group chat.
Mm.
Actually,
No, because see, here's the thing,
I
right?
wouldn't
Like,
have, because I
no.
can't.
Would you start a
Yeah.
brand new group chat since it's the start of a year and just automatically add November back in?
I think the group chat has gone on like over the summer, that everybody's been gone. But like it's been a little weird between Jen and November. And like anytime November talks about doing something, Jen does not reply. Just kind of like, I'm avoiding November in person. I'm also going to avoid him in text. But like, I wouldn't go so far as to like create a new group text because that's just drama. And I don't need any more drama. I had enough of that last year. So I assume it's just a continuation of the group text.
Yeah,
Also,
that's fair.
It's kind of it's kind of part work, part, you know, it's not entirely just a personal thing. It's kind of like a let's try and avoid a big world-ending cataclysm thing as well.
Yeah,
So
and I mean,
that's all November would have texted about, would be like, hey, did you see this news? Maybe had sent the articles for some of the previous murders that have been showing up in the news.
So I look at this text. I'm considering, do I actually reply to this now? I have a meeting to go to in like 5 minutes. And reply back just, well, I'm not sure. I'm not there. If you give me like maybe 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. You didn't piss off a bird again, did you?
You just get like a series of ellipses.
What did I tell you about like walking past their nests?
I feed them, Paolo. They're supposed to be nice to me when I feed them.
Yes, but their vibes are bad. The birds' vibes are bad.
You never told me
okay.
the
You get a text interrupting this back and forth. That's just Jen going, Paolo, just get here. We're gonna kill time so you can get here, but there's some weird energy. We need you here now.
Okay, fine. I'll be there soon.
You can skip your morning croissant. You'll be fine.
I do not respond to Ari's message at all. I pretend it hasn't even come in, and I just say, great, period.
Mm-hmm. Looking that. Oh, I should really hurry up.
Smiley face emoji.
This is a question, also another question for my Slayers. Your Watcher, do you have her as anything specific in your phone, or just Catriona or Watcher, or?
Just her initials for me.
Mm-hmm.
Is she on the group thread?
That is a question for the rest of you. Would you have you all know Catriona Abernathy, the Watcher of the Slayers? I guess it's up to you if you think it's worth adding her to the chat, or do you want just not everyone but the authority figure in the group chat?
I'm leaning more toward the latter, but I'm open to discussion.
Yeah, I think because she is a history professor at the school, I think that it's best to not include her in the group chat. Even though she is our watcher, if somebody sees it,
Yeah.
it may just like bring up a whole bunch of questions, and we do not need
Exactly.
people poking
Yeah.
around.
Yeah,
So.
I agree. That separate chat.
I
Yeah.
do think she has a group chat specifically for the Slayers,
Yeah.
her and the Slayers, and the Slayers. You will get a text from her saying, "Meet me in my office after class, beginning of the year debrief."
Watcher senses tingling?
I always like to be on top of things.
I just send Ari a message. I'm not an overly funny person, but there are certain things that I will lean into, and I just text Ari, I know something that Catriona could be on top of. Period.
And you get a text back. Just that little, like, face.
And that's it. That's the end of the conversation. We're not gonna keep talking about it. That's the end of it. Yep.
Nope.
It always makes me so happy whenever Jen leans into a little bit more of their funny side. Like every time I see that, I just get like a little bit of fuzzy.
I guess also the question is, if November sees this message that everyone else is meeting up, that Slayer senses are tingling, do you go?
Oh. See, not showing up for your first day of class is pretty bad, but not providing relevant information if people might be in danger is worse. So I do think November is just gonna say, do you guys also need me to be there?
I see the text come in and that it's from November, and I just put my phone back in my pocket. It's not for me to answer.
Rad 9:17 a.m.
No, I don't even open the group text. I'm that person who I unlock my phone, read it from the lock screen. Absolutely. Like, nope, not even gonna. Nope.
Incredible. Thumbs up emoji from me.
You get a reply. I say, if I have to beat her, you have to beat her.
Okay. I guess November I will head to the quad or wherever we are going.
I think this happened in the quad, so I think they're hanging out in the quad. Yeah. And the Maryland Bay College itself isn't incredibly large. Your class probably has about 200 people in it. And that's considered like one of the larger years. That like the current graduating senior class is like 100. It's very small, and it's kind of like set up in a way where like the majority of this like campus is kind of wedged in about like 3 blocks. So everything's very close together. So it does not take you very long to get anywhere. All to say is, does not even take you 5 minutes to get there. Unless you're taking your time and trying to make it last 5 minutes.
I will beeline and there with my tote bag.
I'll stop for donut holes.
I'm texting my client that we'll have to reschedule. I could give you a short-term prediction if you'd like that for a cheaper price right now. Just trying to kill a little bit of time before they get involved with this other job.
Yeah. They'll take the right now prediction.
Okay. I look up and look around, and I just text them, whatever you do, avoid all burps at all costs. And whatever keepsake you have in your left pocket, you need to throw it in the trash right now. They send that text, and then they send the follow-up text is their Venmo link.
Yeah, you get like the like eyes wired emoji, then they pay you.
Camera panning to this random person pulling out a receipt and being like, uh-oh.
Like across the quad, you just see this guy just pulls this thing, goes,
looks up, sees all the birds.
But it does not take long before this little Slayer squad comes together and is reunited for the first time at the start of the school year.
You are all offered donut holes from your local friendly bubbly Slayer. Morning. Donut hole?
I take one of the ones that has like the cinnamon bits on the outside. It's not like cinnamon sugar, but like it's really good. And I'll just take one of those and just take a bite. Good donuts.
I'm sipping like a coffee, like just in like a styrofoam cup, maybe that I got from like the cafeteria or whatever, and just sipping it. It's like, okay, so what's these tinglings?
So Jen and I feel like we were being watched this morning, and not just by birds.
No,
like walk out. There's that weird tingly.
Yeah, I don't give a crap about birds, and I felt it. So,
I mean, you should. November is here, correct?
I think November shows up just a little bit late, since I responded to the texts late. So we'll come up and see you guys all chatting and like being, super, having looks like, it's the squad, eating donut holes, and it's just like I take a deep breath and walk up and
I see you like maybe I just like hear your footsteps and recognize the sound that like the way you walk. And we're just like, oh, November's here. November, what do you think about like people watching them?
People watching?
No, I don't think it's people watching unless these.
Well, we're the ones being people watched.
Yeah, but like I think creepy.
Yeah, not like casual, like creepy. Also, do you want a donut hole?
Yeah, I'll have one. People watch. I could it I'll is maybe it's something magic, maybe they're just curious. If I look around, do I see any auras? Like, do I see I guess like
bad vibes,
something different, like traces
Magic
of
barrier.
Supernatural power, I guess.
Hey, you've got what was it, the psychometry?
Psychometry is for objects. I think I'm interested in using the sight right now.
The sight, yeah. Well,
which I think is just an addition to a perception and notice roll.
Yeah, you can add. We'll do that perception roll, and you can add your sight as you sort of take a look around and try to see.
I'm definitely distracted by Jen, though.
Yeah, Take a -1.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And I am doing my best to not look at you. And like it's kind of that situation where like you look at me, so I look away, and then like I can tell that you're looking away, so I look at you and just like trying to gauge how you're doing exactly. Because I
No reason.
yeah, definitely not.
Okay, so, I add perception and I add notice,
Yep.
but I minus subtract 1.
Mm-hmm.
That means it's a 15, so it's very good, level 4 success, which means, because it says, the sight move says if you spend a minute or so looking at someone. Oh, it says at someone.
I mean,
at the area.
Someone is certainly taking a look.
Yeah. But I can tell if a person, on 3 or more successes, I can see supernatural beings, I guess, is the thing. And yeah, that's...
Yeah, you got that 15, so that is a very good success. As you... What does your sight look like?
It's like... It's kind of like... It's less like the way I'm imagining a lot of how my powers work is if there's like, it's not like a conscious, there's another voice or I feel this presence, but it's like I kind of know that I'm seeing and I'm looking at the world with like more than one. It's not just me who's looking at the world. There's like this feeling that like, oh okay, that's there's like this added like layer. It's like I'm looking through multiple sets of eyes.
Yeah.
Which is a weird description, but that's how it feels.
Yeah. You're doing this and you scanning around the quad. It's a little chaotic. There are people coming and going. It's the first day of class, so some people are heading to their first class, some people are rushing, some people are trying to get food before class, and you're a little bit for a moment a little bit unsure of what you're even looking for. Like, yeah, sure, there are people who are glancing all around, and like you've kind of all made a slight reputation for yourselves by always being where the weird things happen. So there are some students who stare at you as they pass, like, oh God, I really hope this is just a normal year. But there is one person. They're wearing dark clothing. They're wearing like a hoodie. They've got the hood pulled up. You see them talking on a phone, and as you're noticing this, you watch as they turn around and start to walk away. You, through the weird way that your sight works, you catch a number of words. You catch target confirmed. And as you're watching, they turn around, they walk away, and they cross behind one of the buildings on the quad.
There, is that 3 o'clock? 3:30? That direction over there,
I look.
Yeah, can I clock them based on what November's saying?
You see a person in a dark hoodie walking behind one of the buildings.
Great. I, without saying a word, I kind of spring into action.
Hmm.
And I take off after him. I'm not gonna let him get away. Why, why would
I
I?
will take a slightly different route so that if they break into a run or if they try and get away, I will be able to intercept.
Okay, let's go. Can I have both of my slayers give me? We're gonna do a dexterity. Let's see. We're gonna do a dexterity. Yeah, dexterity acrobatics to see how well you can. This person has a bit of a lead on you. Yes, you are slayers and are pretty good at moving quickly. But this person does have a bit of a lead on you. So give me that roll and we'll see how things go.
Picking the right D10.
hmm.
All right. You said dexterity acrobatics?
Mhm.
Oh, actually, that's quite good. 21, so that is an extraordinary success.
I got a 22, also extraordinary success.
Killing it!
Mhm. Yeah, you certainly explaining why you are slayers. As you both break into a run, it is the people around you suddenly just spring back. They've seen both of you before. They've seen you do some wild things. Let us not mention the cafeteria incident from freshman year.
Look,
It was one time.
It's not my fault that I'm a show off. Okay.
It's fine.
I was still new.
Jacket to remove the stains.
I was still new. I was learning. I've grown since then.
That's a word for it. But both of you sort of are taking sort of like a bit of a pincer maneuver to make sure that this person doesn't escape. And as you sort of go behind the building, sort of where the building is, and then there are like steps down that lead towards sort of like where people park their cars. And you're both sort of able to hit him at a point where he is like halfway down those stairs. And you're coming in from both sides. This person sort of wearing very just plain clothes. Now that you're here, what would you like to do?
Oh, I mean, I get as close as possible and I just clap a hand on their shoulder and say, "Hey, friend, where are you going?"
As you do, this person, they look over at you with these blank eyes. The vision is unfocused in a way, and they look at you and say, "It's not where I'm going, it's where you're going."
Oh, where are we
Okay.
going?
Okay, where are we going?
And wait, to be specific, you as in me or her or both of us? Be more specific, there's a couple of us here. Also, if you want to blend in, you're gonna want more like and I kind of glance between his all black clothing and Jen's all black clothing.
Yeah,
You know
I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for that comment. I just kind of I know exactly
At
what
least
you're
have a school
thinking and
bag.
what you're gonna say.
At least have a school bag.
It's not a bad idea.
And sort of the unfocused eyes look between the both of you and say, I think you know where. The words
don't.
are a little slurred and
Like I don't. There's the afterlife. There's like the student center. If you're looking for directions, we can,
Am I getting like I mean, obviously like there's something off with this individual. I know vampires pretty well. Probably it's not really striking me as a vampire.
No, it's definitely not. Well, If he was a vampire, there'd probably be a lot more smoke.
Being, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's being
Um,
in the morning.
Yeah.
Does he
I
have
mean,
funky
you
looking
know.
eyes or like a tail or any sort of indication that he, like webbed fingers under his little sweater?
As far as you can tell, it looks fairly normal. It was kind of like wavering on his feet, and it says, just enjoy whatever time you have left.
Can I just
Also,
like pull down his hood at this point? Because like I've given him like enough respect, or I've given them enough respect to not pull down their hood and like give them a chance to talk to us, and they're not doing that. So like I'm just gonna pull down their hood and kind of like take a look at their entire being.
For the two non-slayers, did you follow this as fast as you probably can, which is not as nearly as fast as them?
As soon as they ran off, I looked at November, sipping my coffee, and just... Does that mean we run too? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna down my coffee and just... Okay, I hate cardio. Did you see? I saw where they went. What am I kidding? And I start running that way.
Yeah, let's say you both arrive like right around the time that like Jen rips the hood off, and this person, they have very gaunt features. Like this person hasn't truly been taking care of themselves. They have sort of close cropped, patchy hair. Like maybe they shaved it and it's kind of grown back in a little uneven. And they sort of like wobble on their feet as they look between the two slayers and says, Father's not gonna know what to do with himself.
Like your father? Or is that something that you call someone?
Sounds weirdly suggestive in
that?
a way that I don't appreciate.
Could be worse. He could have said daddy.
Can you... That...
Am I wrong?
No?
Hey, do I recognize this person at all?
No.
No, okay.
They don't seem to be a student. They look a little bit too old to be a student. There's probably someone in
Also-
their like mid-20s.
I do want to make sure that I'm keeping an eye out in case any campus security or professors are walking around and it appears that we are bullying someone. I do want to make sure we're aware of that.
Yeah.
I walk over and it's like, hey, you got like a wallet or something? You're being creepy as hell. At least tell us who you are.
Yeah, we're gonna have to reverse it when we say
I've given up my name. It doesn't matter to me anymore.
Can I I don't know, pat their pockets and take out their wallet if anything?
Yeah.
Do they have a wallet?
They
Do
have a wallet.
anything on them?
It's got like random assorted cash, not much, like maybe like $30 in total, and their driver's license says their name is Walter.
You see this, by the way, I look way too comfortable doing this. Just going through and like, well, Walter, putting that ID back in, taking out a 5. This is a convenience fee. Putting that in their pocket, putting their wallet back. Who the hell are you? Why are you dealing with like, we're weird.
I'm just the messenger.
Messenger of who?
Father.
Father Joe? Father...
It's just
like,
father.
Just father.
Does the name Father mean anything like cult-wise, demon-wise? Is it a weird moniker for something?
Give me a intelligence occult. See if you remember anything. It's not currently, but you maybe if you dig far enough in your memory.
12, decent.
12, decent. You feel like you've read a reference to something, you're unsure. You feel like you read something in a book recently. Um, and he looks. Mhm.
I don't know if this, like, you'd allow me to make another perception roll, but if I take a good look at this person, does this person, like, mean us immediate harm? Like, can I get at any sort of, like, use my empathy, like, read sense of reading people?
Sure, I'd allow that. And if you wanted to, are you looking with your sight still?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think I'm trying to really, like, I'm standing just a little bit back and just, like, watching this person very, like, intently.
Okay, give me that empathy roll.
And
That's
while
also perception notice.
hmm.
November is making that roll, I will be opening up the group chat that Ari and I have with our watcher, and just sending, does father mean anything to you? And waiting for any response while we're standing here.
Yeah, it might take her a minute. I think she might be teaching class.
Okay.
We're more important, God.
Oh, I once again rolled very good. I rolled a 16. It does say that empathy can only be used on humans. I don't know, or at least
He's human.
Mostly human. Okay, cool. This is someone supernatural. Can I tell if they're a witch, if they're just high?
So as you're looking, and you kind of blink a few times, and your sight, for a moment, it's like this man is a puppet on a string. You sort of see, for a moment, you can kind of swear you could see the strings as this person is puppeted and holding the little marionette thing as a dark figure. And he says to all of you, it's only a matter of time before the family arrives. Enjoy what's left. And November, as he says, enjoy what's left, it is like someone cuts the strings. And you can like almost see it happen as cuts the strings. He goes limp. He's gonna go forward down to these stairs unless someone stops him.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and stop him. Because I need to know if he's dead before or after he hits the ground.
Oh, he's definitely dead before he hits the ground.
Okay,
He's dead in your arms.
excellent. Okay, excellent, cool. Is there a way that I can get a feeling for how long he has been dead?
Yeah. Give me your you've got your sorcery, right?
Yes.
My little sorcery. Give me intelligence, willpower plus your sorcery to sort of do like kind of like a little basic spell.
Okay. Intelligence, willpower plus sorcery. I'm so sorry. I absolutely need to double check what sorcery mechanics are. I think it's a +1 or something.
Yeah, I think it's based on like whatever your like level of it. I think you only have a level 1 sorcery.
Yeah. So intelligence, willpower +1, basically. Cool.
You're not doing anything involved.
Bad. Let's see. Oh, okay, hang on. Nah. That is a 10, so it's adequate.
Adequate.
I rolled a 2.
Give me a quick D10 roll. We're gonna roll on the spell effects table.
3.
So, for fun fact, the spell effect table is the lower you roll, the better. So 3 is your spell works just as intended.
Oh, thank goodness.
And yeah, this person's been dead for going on probably 24 hours.
Y'all just see me just be like, and unceremoniously drop this guy. Ooh, he's been dead a day.
Just dump down the stairs.
Now I'm looking at my hands like, ooh, does anyone have hand sanitizer?
Oh, I do. My bag's back on the quad.
Ah, fuck.
When I saw like the strings cut, there was a involuntary like lunge forward, like, but the weight didn't fully escape my throat, and there's just this kind of like, oh, he's dead, and kind of this gross out moment between Ari and Paolo, but November is I'm gonna just close my eyes and take a deep breath. I should go to class.
Okay. Jen, and Paolo, do you want to help me with the very dead guy?
Just,
Not really.
Will you anyway?
Call
Yeah.
campus security, say it was an accident.
No.
I mean-
But he's been dead a day.
Yeah.
All right, Ari, where are we taking them? Actually, where are we taking them?
Like someone like on like behind you all goes, "Is that guy okay?"
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah.
He just
Yeah.
drank too much last night. It's fine. We're taking him to the hospital. It's fine.
You know, pre-gaming first day of
Fine.
school.
Yeah, bad choice. Don't drink and study
School.
Stairs.
economics, I guess.
Oh, the worst.
I guess maybe if we've had to dispose of monsters before, is there like a school incinerator or something that the
We just sneak him in like
doctor
the.
has access to?
We just sneak him in the pre-med cadaver lab.
You could try, yeah.
At this point, everybody in the group kind of already knows that I don't have any qualms dismembering bodies. At all.
We have to have a spot, right? We've been doing this for a
I mean,
minute.
there's always you can drop them on the beach. You
Or in
could
the water.
take 'em in the water. You are by the ocean.
This the
I have an idea.
Mhm.
I pull out my phone.
Mhm.
I hop into the group chat that we've got with our watcher, and I say, "We got a body."
I don't respond to Ari's comment at all because I realize that I need to ask about the family. So I just like continuing my message from before. Also, comma, the family question mark.
You after you say like all of that, got a body and all that stuff, it's like see the ellipsis pop up, ... It's like where this person is typing. I ended it. It's like stops typing, starts typing, stops typing, starts typing.
Fair.
Mhm.
First class isn't even over yet.
East stairs.
I just reply, is it better or worse that it's not our fault this time? Question mark.
You sort of you don't get a reply for a second, and you get a. I honestly don't know. I'm handing the class over to the TA. It will be there in 5.
In the meantime, I'm going to just take this guy and prop him up on a bench with like the. I steal Paolo's sunglasses and I put them on him, so it just looks It just
like
looks like he's just
just
passed out on the
winking at
bench.
Bernie's
Exactly, just make it real easy,
You're taking him like
Do you want people to ask us about the dead guy?
no,
There we go then.
I liked those.
I
Before
will
like
I will bleach them.
that's bad for the sunglasses.
I will sanitize them.
Before that, when they were like going back and forth with the text, like Paolo would look at November specifically, just like, "Hey, go to class. I got this. Just find us later, okay?"
Let's talk. Later.
Yeah, later.
And November will try to make it to class still.
You probably do the thing where you like sneak in for like
Yeah.
5 minutes late. Like everyone looks over at you, and you're just like, maybe I should have just not come to class. But also, you'll get another message from your watcher saying, "I have not names that I have ever heard before, but we'll check them out. Not exactly the easiest to Google."
We could bing them.
Yeah, about 5 minutes later, you see your watcher, Catriona. She's in her like late-ish 20s, probably like 27, 28. Lots of strings were pulled to get her as a professor here. Like, you're not even sure she actually has a doctorate. But she's wearing, usual business attire, slacks, button-up shirt. She has already taken off the tie and rolled up the sleeves. It's already been one of those days, and it's 8:30. And has her dark hair, almost black hair, like sort of in a tight bun, and shows up and goes, "Is this
is Walter.
Oh, Walter, lovely.
He's dead.
No.
Quieter, please.
He's
He's dead tired. So, what happened?"
Jen and I had the Slayer senses tingling. November saw this guy. Jen and I ran after him. November and Paolo ran after us. He got very ominous, talking about father and the family and enjoy what time we have left, etc., etc., etc. Very heavily implying that we're going to die, and then he died. Or rather, he's been dead like a day already, but like he re-died.
So dead, and now dead again. Okay, and kind of does that sort of trademark rubbing her forehead that all watchers seem to do, as she's like, "It's not even 9 a.m. I already feel a headache coming on." Well,
It could be worse. You could be dead.
you are 100% correct. I could be dead. So, yes. Anything else on the body that could tell you anything?
Their wallets on them. They had about $25 in there. Did I, besides their ID, you said there was just like random things in there? Was there anything like
a Costco card, things like that. One
Ooh,
would
Costco
just need.
card.
Yeah, it's like a Costco card.
That's great for a college student.
Just hope no one reports them dead.
No, there's just like their ID and their wallet and stuff.
They also had a phone.
And their phone.
Does it have a passcode on it?
Yes, it does.
Does it have a fingerprint reader?
It's like, did those exist in 2015?
They did, and that they did exist.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It does not. It is several years old at this point. It looks like it's like 3 years old.
Could I take the phone and kind of turn it to the light to see their fingerprints on like because everyone, if you do your phone enough, you're gonna have like messy fingerprints, and see if I could figure out the passcode.
Yes, but I will say that it is going to be a very difficult role.
I'm willing. No, if I do it bad enough, it'll call the police. I won't do that.
Well,
Mhm.
I
it
say
takes a couple of attempts, you know?
1, 2, 3, 4.
No. If you want to make a, we would do, let's see if I, well, I remember. It would be, yeah, it would be like an intelligence Mr. Fix-It role.
Okay.
But it
That's
would be considered very difficult, so it would be a -4.
Is there any way that I can take a look at some of the information that is on this guy's like cards and such and suggest things like a year of birth or Walt?
Sure, we'd knock it down to a -2.
I'm trying to see because I have luck. I don't know how lucky I'll be with my dice rolls. I'll try it, but that will just be so it'll be a +1 because I don't have anything in Mr. Fix It.
Mhm.
I'll roll it. Okay. So I have luck. I read it up on it. I have 3 levels in it, so that means I can get up to a +3, or I could split it up. I would like to use 2 of them so I can get it to a 10, because I rolled a 7.
A 7? Okay, a 10.
Actually, that
Yeah.
would make it 7, 10. Oh, no, wait. I will use 2 because I have a 7. I have 3 in intelligence. So I'll bump it to a 12.
12, and you put in you kept the -2 for it being a difficult task, right?
Oh, no, you're right. So it'll be a 10. I was like, I have 3 on. I'm doing 1. Duh.
Yeah.
So 10.
10, so it is adequate. I will say that you can't get in. You can make like you can get into like the menu that like lets you make emergency calls to like people that the person is designated as an emergency contact.
And who's the emergency contact?
It looks like it's his mother.
I'm not prepared to make that call.
Just give it here.
I'll give it. Does it have the last name on it, or is it just like mom? It would be really
Yeah,
weird
it's
if
just
they had
like
the full name on it.
it
Honestly.
just says like mom.
Cool.
Well,
Just give it here.
I mean, we
If
know
you're
his
not gonna
last
do
name if
it.
we have his driver's license.
Yeah.
yeah, I'll hand it to you. It's like I don't know if you want to call. Like, do we want to call the family? It's like, hey, your kid's dead.
I don't know. Do
I
we?
mean, that does invite a whole lot of questions, and it definitely does put a little wrench in the getting rid of him bit of things.
Yes, which we should definitely deal with. I'm bringing my car around.
Stuff him in the
We
trunk.
can put him in the boot.
Doesn't need to be my car. Good.
She walks off to go get her car.
Well, what an eventful first day.
Yeah.
So it takes a minute, and Katriana brings her car around, and you're able to put Walter's body in the trunk and Also, when
and
you're
return
looking
Paolo
at
sunglasses.
yeah, and return palace sunglasses. Also, like other things that I forgot to mention. Walter doesn't have a New Jersey license. It's from Ohio.
Ohio.
Hmm.
Oh, they were a lover.
Uh,
I will make a note
and
of the license number just in case he's.
mhm. Yeah, didn't have any keys on him, so you're not sure exactly how he got here. Uh, and the body is disposed of somewhere. So you don't have to report a body. It's like it is in the TV show where there's bodies and then just there's not.
Oh yeah.
We are experts at
November.
this.
You eventually get through your first class of the day and have a brief break. And by this time, the others, you all have missed your first class, and you all have returned. Would you go and help Catriona get rid of the body?
Well, yeah.
No.
Okay,
Look,
so
it
Paolo, you
especially
can.
especially if it's the kind of thing where
Mm,
again, like a body needs to be
Mm.
mismanaged in certain ways. I'm really good
mm,
at that, and
mhm.
she's not.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
Also, I'm just trying to
well,
learn.
you definitely don't have to take apart a body. There are sea caves here. And quite often the it's trying to remember, is it early morning is low tide or high tide?
It depends on the kind of day.
It's very true. We'll say it is low tide this morning, and you're able to chuck the body into the sea cave, and it's gonna fill up with water. And, eventually, in maybe a week or two, he'll be found. And all three of you are able to get back to class, and Catriona just like sends a message, just like, I will have my TA run the rest of my classes today, and we'll figure this out. Um, just we can go to my office and figure everything out. Everyone, it, everyone who was there, just you know, let them know
Yeah.
to come.
Hello, November. The group chat dings. Watcher Central after class. Paolo is muted, so I could not see what he wrote.
I was just mouthing Watcher Central.
Mhm. Yeah, say that like November, you have some time after your first class, or are you just gonna like put head down, just like be like, yes, I am normal student, or are you gonna follow up with anything?
I it was a bit of a scare. Not that like it's the being able to see visions and kind of get these senses off of people isn't it's not new to me, but
Hmm.
it's intense every time. And so I think uh I think I am I'm gonna just try to go about life as normal, but as soon as class is over, it's like, okay, maybe I should go talk to um talk to everyone At least if we were given a time to meet at Watcher Central, I think November will try to just, I guess we'll be a little bit, show up a little bit early.
Mhm. Yeah, it's. I guess the other question is, do the rest of you attempt to go to the rest of your classes today?
I'm on academic probation, so like I should
Probably.
at the very least try to. It's honestly like, you get so many absences a semester, and like missing the first day is kind of the worst because typically there's not a lot to do that first day. Like, you go over the syllabus and it's really boring, and here's when the tests are, and sometimes you've got like a small bit of like a lecture, but
Hmm.
like it's such a do nothing day that like I'd rather
Hmm.
just wait until I really need to use the absences or like
That's
just really don't feel
fair.
like going.
Hmm.
So,
The great thing about Katrina being a professor is that she's used the excuse of, you know, I have asked these students to work on this thing for me or do this thing for me. So therefore, you do get a lot of absences excused.
which does
But
come in handy because I
it
often do
does.
not want to go to class.
Hmm. Look, there is sometimes, the person you think is cute turns evil, and then it's like a week long, just you can't get to class because they're essentially trying to ruin your life and murder you. Um, it happens to everyone.
We've all been there.
If I had a nickel,
Hmm. You'd have two, which is weird, but it's happened
Weird, it's up
twice.
twice.
weird that it's happened twice. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I missed my first class. It's already a wash. They did not go to any rest of their classes. Uh, they
Yeah.
just they considered it, looked at the $5 that they just got,
Hmm.
and went to go get another coffee, and kind of just responded to emails on like they have like a portable, like a smaller laptop that they carry with them,
Hmm.
and
Oh,
just
do you have
did
a
a
Chromebook?
off-brand Chromebook and responded to the future is now messages all day.
Hmm.
Aluminum book. I am going to accept that my first class is just a loss. But also it's syllabus day, so it's probably fine. I will go
Hmm.
to the rest of my classes, just because again, with my luck, there'll be a pop quiz and summer reading.
Who knows? Um, So eventually you do all get through your classes for the day, or you hit the point where your classes would be done. And you've all been to Katriana's office before in the history building. It's like a corner office on like the first floor. It's out of the way. Nobody really bothers her here. Just students come by occasionally, but she's one of those professors that has really weird office hours. So, like, it's like I'm only available on office hours on every other Tuesday at this time.
From 4:03 p.m. to 4:07 p.m., you're late, sucks to suck.
Yeah, exactly. Um, so you all show up in her office, and her office is a collection of eclectic things. Usually there'd be history books in here. Now, there's usually just a lot of occult tomes and various things. It is her own little occult library. And she has several books that are already laid out over her desk as she's flipping through them. And whoever is the first to enter, she says to them, I've looked through 7 different tomes for any corresponding father or family, and Several interesting classes of demon and
November stands there. Um, there's a
oh, November.
there's a demon family.
I don't think it's that. More of it was families of demons or things like that. It
He was human.
broad terms, not specifics.
He was definitely human. Just
Yeah, that's why I thought that I thought that for sure. Yeah. Um, do you
I
how have you been doing? I know you're not one of my slayers, but
I had a dream last night.
like the dreams you sometimes have. Yes.
Yes. It was a lot clearer than it usually is. Was I wrote down, I drew what I saw, and I will pull out the sketchbook, the charcoal
Mhm.
drawings, and um, hand them over. I don't know if you might know the symbols in your books.
Mhm.
I um, I thought I should tell you, show you, and yeah, I don't know if that's connected to the 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 person in the quad today. Maybe it's connected to the murders that have been happening across the country.
Yeah, those have been interesting. I've been trying to get as much information from them as I can. The first person who died was a slayer. I knew her watcher. I don't know anything about the others, the other three. Uh, they could be, or it could be nothing in this world is a coincidence, but for once I was hoping it was.
I I'm not as good with computers, but um actually this is a question now for you. In the time between classes and I had classes and now, could I have looked up to see if the girl who died was the girl that I saw in my dreams?
Yeah, you certainly could. It's not incredibly hard. You kind of have to dig a little bit because they haven't released any official photos, but you can find anything on Twitter if you dig hard enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
And through enough search terms, there's one of those really just horrible ambulance chaser people, real Jake Gyllenhaal and Nightcrawler, uh, who snapped a photo of the body before it was taken away. And yeah, was the person you dreamt about.
When I say all this.
Mhm.
Um I I have more to say once the everyone gets here.
Of course. How was your summer?
I spent it with my family.
It's could be good or bad.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, glad you came back. And let's say this is probably around the time where everybody else kind of funnels in.
This time I'm armed with lattes.
I'm
Um,
already sipping on the coffee cup, but I'll take a latte.
and I hand Catriana's to her. Double shot for you, thank you.
Thank you.
For, the mild crime committing earlier.
Yes, it's not the first body we have disposed of, and won't be the last.
Mhm.
What a way to open the year, right?
I was hoping we'd at least get through the first day,
Oh, you know us.
but I do think that's a record.
You think we can do the night before first day of classes next year?
Let's not. Yeah,
Remind
let's
me
not.
to book my flight back from England slightly later next year.
I walk in, the last person to show
Hmm.
up, and I know Ari's proclivities for bringing food and drinks, and since we did food earlier, I know that now is drink time. So I just walk in
Hmm.
and I just hold out my hand. Um, this is one of those things that always kind of surprises people about Jen, typically, is that I don't actually like coffee. I'm not a coffee person. So everybody's got their lattes, but I always know that Ari's gonna show up with my hot chocolate with extra whipped cream and a shot of peppermint. Any
I
day,
know my
all
team.
day, every single day of the year, doesn't matter that it's not Christmas. Mint cocoa, extra whip, always.
I know my team. I will always get them their favorite drinks.
It's definitely appreciated after today, for sure.
Just like wordless hands you your coffee, and I just return to sipping my latte with, cinnamon or whatever.
So, do you have any info? Looking at the Watcher, do you have any info like of what is going on? Because that was yes, new record. Also pretty creepy. Pretty creepy.
Yes, it was. Well, I tried to track down anything to do with the family or father, unfortunately, very vague terms. Some of those Google searches, it did not turn out to be what I was
Oh,
expecting.
I really
yeah.
hope you
Safe
did
search
that with
on.
Safe Search on.
Yeah.
Of course, it's a college computer.
Yeah, you're right though. There's no always get around it. Mm.
But November, might have information that might help. I've really gotten to take a good look over it. We were waiting for everyone else to arrive. Uh,
Yes,
When
I.
uh when Catriona says that November has information, it was at that moment I was taking a big sip and I just kind of like choke a little bit and cough, because I was not expecting November to be of importance in this moment, and it kind of takes me off guard, and I just sorry, sorry.
You changed your hair.
Yeah, I thought that it was time for a change. Seems like a lot of people are changing in all sorts of ways.
like our dear friend Walter, who died.
Friends is a very strong word.
I mean, you shared sunglasses.
Death
Well,
glare.
I shared them for you, but
Death
I feel like
glare.
I feel like that brings you closer together.
Something, something was controlling him. It was like puppet strings that were
Oh,
snipped.
That's how he was already dead.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Oh shit, we never actually ascertained a cause of death, did we?
Do did you keep anything?
Um, I think Paolo's got $5.
And you did have the phone. I don't know if you threw it
Oh
away or
yeah.
not.
The five
I
bucks is gone, but one of you have the phone. Unless
I feel like
I'm
it's
not
you.
I'm not dumb enough to keep a phone for somebody who's gonna show up missing in a week.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like phones are
Mm.
trackable. They've got Find My Life 360. I wouldn't have kept it. Jen wouldn't have kept it. So if
I
someone kept it, it
then
was you.
yeah, no, if you didn't keep it, then I would have taken it back. Well, I mean, the phone, I haven't been able to crack it yet. I've tried too much. I was busy with like all my classes today.
Like, I wonder if can't you just use your mind tinglies and figure out the code?
I can.
Let's
Or
let November do it.
I can. I've been practicing.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
check.
yeah, I could help.
Yeah, like I've got a little bit of magic, but I focus more on like focus is a strong word for someone who's been doing magic for 5 minutes, but I don't really focus on the techno bit.
Um, and I would like to try to take the phone
Mhm.
and see if focusing on the phone itself, if I can get any reading of who Walter was before father took over.
All right. We're for this, we're gonna do we'll do just a perception.
Okay.
Roll it with just your perception.
That is adequate. I rolled 10.
A 10, so just one.
Level 1.
Yeah. So for psychometry, you will feel the strongest emotions involved with the object in recent past, 1 day or less. Um, and you get the feeling of intense devotion, slavish devotion. Whoever this person is, Walter was absolutely, utterly devoted to them and whatever they were talking about, and fully believed in everything. And then there's sort of that harsh feeling of a death. Um, you're not exactly sure what it was that killed him, but it was quick and maybe painless.
Um, I, 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 I'm gonna drop the phone. So
Mhm.
after, if I was holding it, so I hopefully, I don't know. I dropped the phone. So,
And this is 2015. We don't have good screens. Screen shatters.
No,
No.
because I have fast reaction time.
Oh, it's
So,
true.
I'm gonna say that you know, I know
Mm.
November, and I can obviously see like what is happening here, and I notice like the grip loosening. So as it kind of like starts to fall, I just like reach over and just grab it. It's not like immediate; it does fall for a little bit before I can get it,
Mm.
but it does not hit the ground.
I was like, I knew you would catch it.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh, I and to be clear, because we're gonna make this gay, you know, I have to lean lean down to catch the phone, and I just kind
mm,
of like once it's safely in my hand, I'm just gonna look up at November to like make sure that they're okay. But there's this really like
And
there's
I'm just
like that
feeling
moment.
I'm feeling that devotion still like pulsing in my veins while you're looking up at me. Oh, oh well. There was let's just say he was happy to die. Not in a depressed way, but in a, you know, cultist way. Um,
Like a die for the cause kind of deal?
yeah, it would have done. Would have maybe. Could have done anything. Would have done.
Okay, I feel less bad about hiding the body.
No. Don't see. I didn't see anything else though. Just I just. I felt.
Mhm.
Huh. I guess this is we got a new Manson or something.
Look, I told you all how much I hate cults. We had the one from last year, and that was terrible. So, still only
Look,
have one of my shoes.
I mean, I've never really heard of anybody talking about, like, well, I guess except cultists. I was gonna say I never heard anybody talking, saying nice things about cults, but yeah, no, cultists. I mean, that's kind of in the name,
Yeah.
I guess. But no, I don't think any of us are happy with cults generally.
I think like school spirit is definitely a cult of some sort, but moving on.
Well,
To be
Yeah.
clear, it is a cult that I'm absolutely a part of, but
Oh dear.
this is why we're not roommates.
Marlins for the win.
Isn't
Come on, to Marlin Bay
our-
Marlins.
Isn't I thought we were the Sharks.
Oh no.
You
I have so much
been?
rebranding to get to do.
Oh no. Okay. Well,
I think that's a missed opportunity personally. Moving on.
um, you said November. You didn't see anything. Did you? The Watcher said you had something about like important going on. Was it about this, or did you see something else?
Well, you know the string of ritualistic murders.
Yeah, yeah. I glanced over it in the news the other day. Oh no.
I've had a dream about the most recent one.
Okay. That feels bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, as we all know, psychic readings are very important to, take heed of. That probably
there a
means
but?
Well, it's more like that probably means there's something coming here closer. I could only
I don't-
assume.
Well, okay, look, I don't think you need to be a psychic to have this idea. Like if November's having, these nightmares, these visions, and we're just supposed to trust these visions completely, without questioning them ever, or doing any sort of introspection or anything at all.
Okay.
Sorry. sorry. What was I saying? Yeah, the visions. Yeah. So if we believe the vision, if the vision is to be believed, then that plus this Walter guy, the family father. I mean, uh, I don't think you need to be a psychic
It
to
helps
make
though.
a guess about that.
The
Yeah, I'm sure. But
the
good
last
old deduction will get you there too.
Patriona, have you do they know who the first death was?
I was getting to that. So there've been four so far. I don't know about any of the other ones, but the first one who was killed was a slayer. I knew her watcher. Um, I have not been able to verify any of the others. They either didn't have watchers or I did not know them. We aren't exactly the most well-networked group of people anymore, thanks to the first evil blowing up the entire council.
Seems like something the first evil would do, to be fair.
Yes.
Wait, so you said the first one was a watcher, or
First one
sorry,
was a
the first one was a
Slayer.
slayer.
Mhm. Been three more. All
Are,
And that
across the years.
said-
First one,
but you said that you don't like you don't know if they're slayers too, or you like.
I don't. I don't. If they had watchers, I didn't know.
Right. So there have
But
been four
first
so
one-
far.
First one
The
for
first
sure.
one was a Slayer.
First one for sure was a slayer. You know,
Then
her
three
watcher.
mysteries.
It's been working their way across the U.S. First one was in California. Second one was in Nevada. Third one was in Texas and then Kansas.
So the real question is, like, are they just gonna hop across the pond, or anyway? So first one was Slayer, 1, 2, 3 randos, and it seems like they're coming after one or both of us, Jen, you, and me. So
I mean,
general pattern suggests, but also that whole correlation causation crap, you know?
we don't know if my dream and this and the killings and this Walter guy are related.
Well, okay, just think back to your dream. Did you hear anything? Did anybody talk about a family? Did anybody talk about father or mother or any family member, anything like that? Anything that you could make out in that way? Can't hear you.
They were just talking about the feast
There was a lot of
Feast.
Latin.
and Latin.
Do
But
you
they always
remember
speak Latin.
any of what was said in Latin? I ask as someone who has one rank in languages, just in case.
I think I have languages too.
I mean, I wrote down what I could that I heard after I had the dream. I don't know how to spell Latin, so I will pull out.
I mean,
did
did you hear the word like Potter? That's and Padre, anything similar to dad, father,
Familia?
anything like that.
I don't know. Did I, director?
Yeah, I would say you probably did.
Yeah, from the phonetics of what November wrote out.
And Latin is one of those ones where it can be a little bit phonetic sometimes.
True. Yeah. Yeah, would Paolo and I be able to glean anything from any of that beautiful phonetic bits?
Give me just to see if how much you can glean and especially like how much maybe that November wrote. Give me intelligence language.
Intelligence language. All right.
Okay, that's a 10.
That is math is hard.
Yeah.
12.
12? So
Adequate
yeah,
and decent.
adequate and decent. Like, you're able to pick out some words like family, father. You can pick out bounty, um, power, slayer,
Yeah. Anything about a
and
timeline like new moon?
nothing about a timeline. It
Okay.
seems like this was some sort of ritual. Um,
Totally a Slayer thing.
yeah.
Are there looking at the different deaths, like is there any sort of pattern that we can make out, like if this is ritualistic, like can we they may not have talked about a timeline, but like, you
Mhm.
know, can we pick out a pattern
Based on like
or is
reporting
it
patterns, yeah.
Based on
Mhm.
reporting patterns. Yeah, I mean, pretty easy to take a look at all of the dates and then look at a lunar calendar. Yeah, that's a full moon.
Oh, I was literally opposite.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Well, and I look at Ari at this point and I just say, well, I mean at this point they've only killed one at a time, so who knows? Maybe they're only after one of us.
Maybe. Or they might be going after us over the course of 2 months, or they might just try and get a twofer on this one. But when's the next full moon? Like a month from now?
Yeah, like a
I
month
would
from now.
imagine like a month from now because the last killing just happened.
Because it just happened.
Oh,
So-
a month, give or take.
That's
So
that's
then-
that's how the months work.
Yes. So the nice thing is, the time that we have left is about a month, so we have a month to figure out what the heck is going on.
Plenty of time.
Yeah. The last one was in Kansas, you said, right, director?
Yes.
Slash, Katrina.
Yes.
Okay. So one would assume that either they have gotten their butts over here real fast, or this guy was just the messenger and they are still on their way.
Either option. We can't be too. I mean, we can at least be sure that they're going to be waiting until.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was it now? Did Paolo or no, it was November that caught Walter. Did November tell us what he was able to make out that Walter was saying?
Thank you.
Oh,
Thomas.
I don't think I told you in that moment, but if Jen asks that now, just like I don't know if he was saying target acquired or if I was acquired my target. But I mean, he was watching you.
Well, so it stands to reason then that Walter could just be some weird puppet from this cult. I pull out my phone quickly because I am terrible at geography. I have no idea where anything is in relation to anything else. And I'm going to pull out my phone and I'm going to zoom out and I'm going to find where Kansas is and where Ohio is in
Yep.
relation to Kansas. And okay, well, they're not. I mean, it's
You
not
could
like
do
they're
Ohio
right.
to here in a day.
Yeah, and it's not. I mean, Kansas
long
isn't
day.
like. Yeah, well, okay. So hear me out. My thought was like, especially if they were close, this was somebody that may have been working with the cult and or somebody that was being controlled and then sent here from Ohio. But I mean, I mean,
It could-
obviously like I would assume based on what we found in his wallet that he was living in Ohio. So
Yeah.
my question becomes, how did the cult get him in Ohio if they're in Kansas? Like
Right.
that I think is the part that's worrying me because that's some
Well,
weird
they're
psychic connection that maybe they have. I don't
right.
know.
I
So
mean,
was
they could.
California, Nevada, Kansas, and somewhere else?
Texas.
Texas, that's right.
Texas.
I
Hmm.
mean, that's only under the assumption that they're in one single place.
Also under the assumption that this guy isn't from Ohio and lives here.
I mean,
Hmm.
yeah, obviously I'm making a lot of assumptions here. But I mean, I'm only going off of I'm not
Right.
psychic, right? So
Not like us.
no. I'm not gifted in that way. But I don't know. It just obviously there's a chance that he's been with this group the whole time, but it like okay, you don't really hear about like some offshoot of a cult, right? Like cultists travel together typically.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
when you
yeah.
had, like I mean South America, Kool-Aid, all of that, like you didn't have okay, the main cult is here, but then like the smaller cult is over here.
Right.
They all kind of travel together. And I mean with a name like the family, you can kind of I don't know, like there's kind of like look into their psyche or whatever. Um,
I mean, one could also think if they're hunting slayers, maybe they send people ahead to find the slayers.
You know what I want to know is how they find the Slayers. How do they know who we are, where we are? Are they using some kind of magical Slayer dowsing rod?
Well,
I'm
you two aren't the
Hmm.
most subtle.
But like, it's not like we're super known off campus or anything. Well, like out of town or anything.
Can I just do like a quick like online search for events that's happened on this campus and what other newspapers they've been in?
I definitely thought you were about to say, can I do a Google search for Slayer locator?
It's just gonna give me the band.
So for Ari and Jen, right?
Well, the stuff
Mm.
that we've done has been newsworthy, I imagine. The whole cafeteria incident did get like
Mm.
at least the next town over. So I imagine stuff like that would make to the local newspaper, and any of the bigger events may get to other newspapers.
Yeah, you can do that. You don't have to make a roll for it. The thing is also one of the things the catcher is here to do is to mitigate things like that. She definitely helps make it so that direct names aren't in the paper. Just local teen stops, yada yada.
Oh. Then I want to do a search for like there's those magazines
Mhm.
that says like Bigfoot found, shows a picture
Like
of
National
like
Enquirer.
costume. Yeah, stuff like that. Has there like been events of like vampires found in Rhode Island, small town, that kind of stuff? Like no, like those things will make newspapers, but no one will pay attention to them.
Yeah, I mean, like there's like your normal stuff. Like there is that squid demon, the mention of a squid demon that you're pretty sure that you fought last year.
Don't
Spotted they have it in New York, but
Okay.
you know,
So like stuff like this isn't exactly like they're doing their research. I don't know how. Oh, maybe they have someone psychic.
that was gonna be my thought.
Oh, that's not
I
good.
mean, they were controlling Walter from who knows where.
Yeah, I mean that's a little bit more than psychic magic. That's like magic.
Powerful witch. Or warlock.
Yeah. Well, looking at um sorry, what was the watcher's name again?
Katrina.
Kat- Katriana. I look at them as like, well, what would you suggest? should be our at least first steps, next steps. If there's like a slayer, killer.
Well, I first steps is figuring out if the others were slayers, if there's any connection between, like, getting for sure connection between Walter today and these killings. It could be a horrible coincidence. I don't think it is, but it could be. So get that for sure connection, no, and then also figure out why. It's also not exactly easy to take down a Slayer, so they have to have some sort of inside knowledge. So figuring that out is a lot of research, a lot of digging and ears to the ground. Try not to travel on your own too much, just in case.
I push myself off of the desk that I've been sitting on top of and kind of like jump to my feet. And I say, well, a bunch of research sounds boring. I'm going to leave you to it. And then once Catriona says, try not to travel alone, I'm going to look at November and I'm just going to say, well, I have nothing to worry about after all. I survived, don't I? And then I just kind of walk out of the room.
And from behind is just, and Jen, still don't forget to patrol tonight. It's first day of the semester, but Ari, make sure, patrol, keep an eye on each other.
Yep. Sunset.
And Katrina will look at the other two and say, I guess that means we're hitting the books.
Ooh.
And sounds so excited.
And you sound so excited. And you know what? I think this is a really good place to end the first episode. We've set everything up, and now it is time to just see where everything takes us. What is the family and what are their plans? Yeah, everything's fine. I don't know what you're talking about. There's nothing for these two to worry about.
There's nothing wrong.
There's absolutely nothing wrong. Jen definitely doesn't have anything to worry about. She's not going to die, so
they're clearly planning a surprise birthday party for one of us.
Of course.
100%.
Now is the time I will let my lovely cast tell you a little bit about themselves, where you can find them on the internet, and any cool things they might be doing. And I'm going to start with, we'll do the same order that we did intros. So we'll start with you, Saffron.
Hello, again, or goodbye. I'm Saffron.
Hello,
Saffron
goodbye.
I am online pretty much everywhere at Gaub Hefta, so my last name reversed, Gaubhefta, and I'm a part of the actual play studio Midnight Ceremonies Media, so you can find other work that I've done at midnightceremoniesmedia.com.
Okay, and then we have Dusty.
Hello, hi, I am Paulo Estrada. I'm also Dusty at Dusty E. Hill. You can find me online most places. You can find me working a lot with our lovely director, Aubrey. You can catch us on Goblins and Gays. I am playing in our current Pathfinder 2e campaign, Urido, last name. If you like gothic horror and Bloodborne, you're gonna love this series. Aubrey has done an incredible job, and I love playing my little shitbag. You could also find us on a Lancer podcast, Bring Your Own Mech. You could find us streaming. Goblins and Gays. I'll let Aubrey do all the other big links and stuff. She knows it all. You can find me at Running in Unwavering Force, which is a Star Wars podcast. We also use Pathfinder 2e. That's a ton of fun. Go check that out. You can find all the stuff that I do just at Dust E Hill on most socials I care about. I'll be there. You can find my games. You can just go find me. I'm there.
You exist.
I
And
exist.
next, Jen.
Oh, hi, that's me. Hello slash goodbye, everyone. I am Jen. I have been your friendly local Peppy Slayer Ari. I can be found over on at Jenburb on pretty much all socials. Things I like to do when I am not playing Peppy Witty Slayers include helping to run things over on Girls Run These Worlds, which is a TTRPG AP channel dedicated to uplifting the voices of women and femmes while also placing a priority on diversity and intersectionality. I also spend a whole lot of time over on the Lore Mistresses channel, basically doing bunch of TTRPG APs, occasionally a cozy video game or two. There is a long-term campaign going on there based on the Theros setting in D&D 5e. So go check us out. We'll be around for quite a while. And that's me.
Oh, yeah, and that'll bring us to Queen of the Court V.
Hi, everybody. That's me. My name is V. You can find me on the internet at V is for Vampire because my name is V. And I was voted most likely to kiss a vampire. Because obviously. Yes, you can find me doing pretty much Vampire Lair. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, you can find me pretty much doing a lot of stuff over here at Queen's Court Games. If you like the art that you see, most of it's probably mine. The overlays, graphics, all that good stuff in this show is mine. Obviously alongside Aubrey's amazing vision. So super happy to see all of this come out, and I hope that y'all are having a blast with this. Obviously we've got a bunch of other stuff, but if you're here, you've probably seen and heard everything else that we do. But if you want to catch vampire stuff that isn't about killing vampires and is instead about kissing vampires, and I don't mean like me kissing vampires, but like vampires kissing vampires, but like not really, because that's not exactly what we do, but like it is still really gay. The All Night Society, we have 2 full seasons out. It is the award-winningest Vampire the Masquerade 5e actual play podcast, voted #1 actual play, #1 US last year in the Audio Fiction World Cup. It's pretty fantastic. But you know, I've been pretty much everywhere. I've been over on Red Moon Roleplay, and I've been over on RPPR. I show up every now and then on Hallowed Haven. So honestly, the best way to keep an eye on all the things that I'm doing is just follow me on socials at V is for Vampire, or at Queen's Court RPG on Twitter, or at Queen's Court Games, pretty much everywhere else. If I'm doing it, you'll hear about it. And of course, this is where I get to turn the table and say our lovely director for today, letting us live all of our best Buffy the Vampire Slayer lives, enjoying the camp, enjoying all of the fun. Aubrey, if people want to learn more about you, all the things that you do, which is a ridiculously long list, where can they do that? Where can they find all of your stuff?
Well, you can find me on pretty much every social media as Mad Queen, or the Mad Queen, or Mad Queen Cosplay, one of those variations depending on the site. And yeah, as Dusty said, Goblets and Gays, there is streaming stuff. There is Last of Eden's Vices. We may have started the second act by this point. I don't know yet. But the first act is out, so you should definitely go check that out. It is a labor of love, and there's a lot of really fun stuff there. There's a lot of really great performances from the cast. And there's other fun streaming things that will be out eventually. And you can also catch me over on Hallowed Haven. If there's season 1 of City of Smoke, the all Thin Blood game I'm a part of, you can go check that out. Listen to me cry in that one. You can watch Wayfarer and listen to me cry again. And Wayfarer is all done by this point, but it's 3 seasons of a really fun Hunter the Reckoning campaign where I do the opposite of what everybody does at a World of Darkness campaign. I got better.
You can
Feels
do
fake.
that?
Yeah, apparently you can get better if you get therapy for your trauma.
Oh, but
Who would have guessed? Yeah, and then you can
No.
catch me a bunch of other places. Escaping Carcosa over on Ballad of the Seven Dice. That goes about, I think they do an episode once a month. And other than that, yeah, that is anything else I'm a part of. You can see it over on the Twitter or Blue Sky or wherever. And yeah, that means this episode is hitting the end of its credits, and
Yeah.
we will see you all. Mhm.
Keep in mind, everybody's socials are going to be in the show notes. So if there's somebody and you're like, how the heck do I spell Gob Hefta? We got you. Don't worry. Check the show notes. Check the description. We will have everybody's, at the very, very least, one link to some social. And then now that this episode is coming to a close, we're going to go have our wonderful little post-credits conversation, the entirety of which you can find on our Patreon if you are one of our amazing patrons. We love and appreciate every single one of you. It means the world to us. So if you want to hear our thoughts on the recording today, definitely pop on over to Patreon. That will be up. It should be up right now, because it comes up right as the video goes live, so people can catch all of the fun behind the scenes stuff. So make sure to give that a check. And until next time, bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.